going on, guys? Welcome to week 7 of the Go One More marathon prep. Can't believe we're already almost halfway done with this prep. It's been going really good so far. I'm feeling confident that the sub 3 is going to happen. So a lot of the questions I get in regards to running are how do you run faster and how do you run further? So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my tips with you guys on what I've found works to run faster and further. These are things that I actively do, things that I've tried and I know work for me, so hopefully they can work for you as well. So I'm super excited to share these tips with you guys today. But first I got 6 easy miles to go knock out, so we'll see you in just a little bit. Alright, 6-mile run is complete. I had 6 miles, 49 minutes, 59 seconds, 8:20 minute per mile pace. That was a chilly run. It's only in the 30s here in Greenville today, so my heart rate was nice and low. It was in the 130s pretty much the whole time. Let's go inside. I'm going to share tip number 1 with you guys. So I first want to start by saying that these tips are not in any particular order. They're all equally important in their own way. But tip number 1 is to breathe through your nose. I feel like not a lot of people talk about this one, but I just finished reading James Nestor's Breath. It's a great book. I highly recommend you read it, and it's all about how our bodies function better and all the ancestral, evolutionary, scientific reasons why our bodies function better when we breathe through our nose versus breathing through our mouths. I won't go into all the details. You can read the book if you want all the specific details, but just know that you're much better off breathing through your nose than through your mouth. We're meant to breathe through our noses. You're not going to be able to breathe through your nose all the time. I really am only able to do it when I'm doing my easy runs, just because it is difficult. But I can tell that the more I do it, the easier it becomes and the easier running feels and the better I'm able to breathe while I'm running. Another reason I think it's so important to breathe through your nose while running is because when you're breathing through your nose, you have to consciously think about it, so it helps to keep you present while you're running. It also forces you to keep your chest up and your head up just because it's harder to breathe almost, so you have to really fix your posture. You can't be hunched over like this trying to breathe through your nose. It's just not going to work. And on top of all that, when you breathe through your nose, your body can take in 6 times more nitric oxide and 18% more oxygen. So try and breathe through your nose more, and I'll give you guys tip number 2 in just a second. So, tip number 2 is slow the heck down. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when starting out running is they run too fast, they run too many miles, they just do everything too hard, way too much of everything. I'm guilty of this myself. I would just go out and run as hard as I could and I'd be dead after like a mile because I had no conditioning and I would call it good for the day. So what I currently do is I do the 80-20 rule. So I run 80% of my miles at an easy aerobic pace, and then I do 20% of my miles at an anaerobic or higher pace. And it's all based on heart rate, which I've talked about in another video. I use the Maffetone method. I'll put a link to that in the description. But just remember, focus on slowing down, run easy, figure out your aerobic zones, and make your easy runs easy. And I promise, as counterintuitive as that sounds, if you run slower, you're gonna eventually be able to run much faster. So I'm at the track today. I've got 2 easy miles to warm up with, and then I've got 3 hard miles at my race pace, which is a 6:45 pace, and then a 1 mile cool down. So let's go knock it out, and then I'll share with you guys tip number 3. 6 miles on the track is complete. One of my favorite things about these track workouts is that it really helps my mind to muscle connection. Because you're in more of a controlled environment, you can really dial in your distances and your pace. And I just love how I can feel in my legs what a 7-minute pace feels like, or a 6:45, or a 6:30. And you'd think that to change your pace by 10-15 seconds per mile would be significant, but really It's just a little bit extra push in your legs or a little bit more spring in your step. And on the track, you can really feel all those things and you can experiment with it and really get connected with your body and your legs so you know what those different paces feel like. So I could talk about this stuff all day, but solid 6 mile run. We'll see you guys tomorrow for tip number 3. Also, check out the sunset. I'm gonna miss this place. Hey. Okay, so tip number 3 for how to run faster and further is to just ease into it. So this kind of goes off tip number 2 of slowing down. So like I mentioned before, most people when they first start out running, they run way too many miles, they run way too fast, and their bodies just aren't used to running at all, let alone that many miles or running at that pace. And most of the time they end up injured. I've done it myself several times. One thing I usually tell people when they're first starting out is don't really worry about how far you're going, but more about how much time you're running. So see if you can go for a 10-minute run, and then if that feels good, maybe the next day do 15 minutes, and then do that for a few days, and then try 20 minutes. And eventually you're gonna be able to run for 2 or 3 hours and you'll be just fine. Another good method I use is the 3-to-1 rule. I just made that up. I don't know what it's actually called. There's probably a name for it. But when you're trying to build up your mileage, a good way to do that is to run 3 weeks of the same mileage. So say 20 miles, 20 miles, 20 miles, and then take 1 week off and do like 10 miles. Then you can go 30, 30, 30, and then 40, 40, 40. And then that way you're not just jumping from 20 miles to 25 miles to 30 miles all within just a couple of weeks. And you're giving yourself months to slowly progress up into that higher mileage. So hopefully that made sense. Koa and I, wherever he is at, I don't know, are at Paris Mountain State Park. We're gonna do 4 easy miles on the trail. So let's go hit it. All right, Koa and I just wrapped up 4 easy miles. We had 4 miles, 43 minutes, 59 seconds, 11-minute pace. We took it a little slow, plus I got to stop and set up the GoPro and whatnot. But felt really good. Koa enjoyed it. He even got to swim a little bit afterwards. All right, let's head home, and I'll tell you guys tip number 4. So I really haven't shared much with you guys about the Go One More Marathon itself. And frankly, that's just because I don't know a whole lot about it. They really haven't given us many details. But about 2 minutes ago, I just got an email from BPN with some of the details, not all the details, but some of the details about the marathon. So I'm going to share that with you guys real quick. Okay, so this is the email from BPN. Down here we got a schedule, finally. We had no clue when anything was. We knew the dates, but not the times or anything like that. So the check-in is from 3 to 7 on January 28th at BPN headquarters. I'm not entirely sure what that'll entail. I'm guessing just picking up a bib, maybe some apparel, maybe getting a tour of the HQ. I'm not really sure. And then race day on January 29th, athletes will arrive at 5:30 a.m. at the BPN headquarters, where we will be bussed out to the course at 6 a.m., which we still don't know where the course is at or any details about the course. We don't know the route or the elevation gain, if it's an out and back. So then the race will start at 8 a.m. Here it says the location details will be communicated at the beginning of January, so we're gonna have to wait a couple more weeks to find out some more details about the course. And then the after party following the race is from 11 to 2. Oh, and then down here it says the race course is 40 minutes north a BPN headquarters, so that gives us a little bit more context, I guess. So yeah, some exciting new details coming up about the Going More Marathon, which is about a month out, a little bit more than a month. If I get any more details, I will obviously let you guys know. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get down to Austin. All right, it's Friday night. I'm getting my stuff together for tomorrow's 15-mile run, and I decided to make one of my favorite snacks of all time. So I stole part of this recipe from Nick Bear. He, as far as I know, invented sludge, which is just a couple scoops of protein powder and a little bit of milk to make this like sludge, cement, like really thick consistency. I don't know what you want to call it. Sludge is the perfect term for it. So a few weeks ago, I was making sludge with the BPN vegan peanut butter cookie protein, and it just wasn't hitting the spot. So I was like, what can I do to this to fix it up a little bit? So I was like, peanut butter and jelly. So I decided to throw in some jelly, just a couple of tablespoons. This stuff I'm using tonight is Crofter's Organic Berry Harvest. I think it's just like mixed berry. It's super simple. Takes like 5 minutes to throw together, and it tastes delicious. And then over here, I've got my nutrition for tomorrow's 15-mile run. So I'm going to do a couple scoops of Tailwind, a couple scoops of G&M Sport. I've got 2 goos. I've got chocolate and strawberry banana. I'll eat those throughout the run. And I've got BPN Intraflight. That's their BCAA formula. So I'll drink 1 serving of all this before the run. And then during the run, I'll drink another serving. I'll carry my handheld water bottle with me. I'm gonna eat this sludge, head to bed, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for 15 miles. Whew. 16-mile run is complete. I had 16 miles, 1 hour, 56 minutes, 7:16 minute per mile pace. Not a single part of that run was dry. It was foggy, it was gloomy, and it was wet. Holy smokes. But hey, those are the fun ones. Ugh. So the fourth and final tip for how to run faster and farther is to just be present and enjoy the moment. Running hurts. It doesn't feel that great. It's very uncomfortable, but you know what? That's why we do it, and we know that going into it. It's not supposed to be easy. If it were easy, then everybody would do it. And you know, a lot of people, when they go for a run, they have to have headphones, they gotta listen to music or a podcast, or they have to run with a big group of people because they wanna try and escape. They wanna not think about the pain that they're feeling. And you know what? I say, embrace the pain. I don't listen to music, I don't listen to podcasts. I sometimes run with people, you know, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but it is important to embrace the pain, embrace the suck. And you know, I think if you truly have a passion for running and you commit to being present in your runs, then everything else is gonna come naturally. You're gonna slowly progress to become faster and be able to run further distances. So I know in this video I mostly talked about the mental side of things and how to plan and how to approach running versus, you know, the actual physical form of your running. I might do that in another video, but running is probably 90% mental, and if you can conquer the mental aspect of running, then everything else will just come naturally. So I hope that all made sense. I hope you got something out of this video. We've only got about 6 weeks until the Going More Marathon, so let's keep chugging along. See you guys in the next video. Let's see what we got. I don't know if it'll be much. Oh, that was a good one. My socks are never good. Got any water in here? No, that was anticlimactic.